Hi Wildcats, welcome back. Now that you have a knowledge already on naming points, line, and plane, let us proceed and answer these questions that are in your screen. I'm going to model how are you going to answer this type of problem. Okay, so first thing that you have to do is you have to take a look at the illustration. Make sure that you can imagine how does the illustration looks like in the real world. So let's start with looking at the illustration here. So there are two planes. The first plane is your plane S. Second plane is your plane pi. There are three lines in here, which is we have your line EN or line EO or how you name it, as long as there are 2 points. This vertical line here, and then we have the slanting height here line. Sorry. So we have this line, which is BW, and then the other line, which is the horizontal line, which is line KT. Okay, so those are the illustrations or the basic of your geometry. We have the plane, we have your lines, and the point there is we have point E, we have point W, point H, point P, point N. Point N is not on neither plane S or plane pi. Okay, we have point K, we have point O, we have point Z. Right? So the first question there is name 3 collinear points in plane S. Again, when we say collinear, they need to be on the same line. Okay, so we consider points as collinear points when these points lie on the same line. So it's our basis will be plane S, and we have to take a look at 3 collinear points. All right, so first point will be point W, and we have point H. So you have point H, and the last one will be point P. So if these are what we call now your collinear points. Now, Mr. My question there is, why is that point E, point H, and point N are not collinear? They are collinear. Okay, I'm telling you they are collinear because they lie on the same line. But what are we looking at? It's point in the plane S. Take note, point N is not on your plane S. So point W, point H, and point P are collinear, right? Next question will be name the intersection of plane S and line EN. So what will be the intersection of plane S and plane EN? So when you look into the illustration, your plane S is this one. It's what color is this? Is it a brown or it's like light brown? So this is plane S, and then line EN is the vertical line. So if you look at the intersection there, it's this one, which is a point. So the intersection of these two is a point, and we name that point as point H. Okay. Next one is name the intersection of plane pi and plane line EN. So plane pi, it's the green plane here, and then the line vertical line here, which is your EN. So what is their intersection? So the intersection is again it's a point, which is this one. Okay, so it's a point, and we call that as point O. And last question on this problem is name the intersection of line BW. So BW is from here, this line here, this is BW, and then EN, it's the vertical line. So take a look at the intersection. The intersection is, again, it's a point, which is point H. So it's point H. So that is how you answer this type of problem. Okay, again, you have to take a look at the illustration and then read the problem. Okay, next example. There you go. So on this example that we have here, so we have a three-dimensional figure. So the first question there is name three planes. So again, in naming planes, we can use three letters or four letters. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to color it red. So the first plane will be plane that I'll be using is RJDF. So RJDF, it's this plane. Okay, so it's a flat surface. This plane here, that's one. Second will be I would be using green on this. So I would say plane DJ. Sorry, I have to use green color. DJ. So plane DJ DJKM. Where is that? It's this plane. It's this plane here. Okay, so it's this plane here. It's a flat surface. And the last one, which is the easiest one that we can get into, it's the flat surface here. So we can use plane pi. Okay, so it's this plane here. So that's how you name the plane. There's a lot more that we can get that we can get there as a plane, but we only need three. So you can use FREL, you can use LEKM, and RJKE. So those are the surfaces that you have in there. Okay. Next is name a point that is coplanar with M and F. Coplanar, as a review, your coplanar means it's either a point or a line that lie on the same plane. Okay, so coplanar of M and F. So you can mark them. Let's mark M and then F. So it talks about this plane here. It's in the front surface of this box. So I can do name a point. So you only need one. It's either point D or point L. So either of the two. So it's point D is coplanar to MF and point L is coplanar to MF also. Next question. Name the intersection of plane pi and plane FDM. So we are going to name the intersection of plane pi. Again, plane pi is this big plane here. It's like if you have a box like this and then you just put it on top of the table. So the surface of the table represents your plane pi and the box will represent the box itself, the box here. So we have plane pi and FDM. So we have F. So I'll mark this one as green. FDM. So it talks about this plane here, the surface plane. So the intersection is a segment which is segment LM. So the intersection here is segment LM. We rate this one as segment LM. All right. And the last question, guys. Name the intersection of plane MKJ and plane FDJ. Again, let's mark the two planes that we have as an example. So we have MKJ. So MK, this is MK and J. So it talks about the side plane. So it talks about the side plane here, MKJ, and what is the intersection? So we have to name the intersection of MKJ and FDJ. So FDJ is this part. So FDJ, so this plane here. So plane FDJ. So if you are looking at the illustration as I marked them, the intersection is this. So it's a segment. So the intersection is segment DJ. Again, this is segment DJ. All right. So that is how you attack those problems. Again, I'll repeat. Once you encounter this problem, take a look at the illustration and then go to the question. Use your imagination. If you can create the actual image of it using different materials, then do so. Thank you guys, and see you in our next lesson. Have a good day.